Hey everybody, today we're going to have fun with text fields. I was trying to build a login screen and I wanted to control what text field led to the next text field, and was having some issues with that. Then I needed to customize the text field look and feel and couldn't really find a whole lot of resources on this, so I thought I would make this video, if not for no other reason than just for my own reference in the future. So I'm using the latest beta version of Xcode and Swift 4 technically, but I don't think we'll actually get into anything that's specifically Swift 4. Alright, so we're going to start off with a single view application. Let's just call this text field playground. And I'll have all this source code up on GitHub when this gets posted. Alright, so I want a black background. There we go. We're gonna make this dark, like it's a goth app. I don't know what goth are doing with apps, but maybe they have one. Alright, let's get a couple text fields out here. Hold down Option to duplicate. Horizontally center it. Let's make it pretty big. I like big text fields. 250, 44 high. Let's make it 40 from the top. Bam. How big did I make this again? I made it 44 high. We're going to do the same thing for you. Centered. 250. 44. Let's make it closer, only 10 down. Bam. Alright, so this is going to be our username one. Let's get a placeholder. Actually, let's have it be the email address. Let's have them log in with their email address. And option 8 will make these fun little dots for the password. So the content type for this text field is going to be password. And content type for this one is going to be email. That way we can get the correct keyboard loaded up. Someone taps on these fields to enter it. Let's make a button. That looks good. Sign in. Make it nice and big and stuff so people can easily tap on it. Nail it into location, down, size, and then center it horizontally but offset, I don't know, by 60. 60 might be right. Hey, pretty close. Good enough anyway. So it's going to be moved 60 pixels to the left of center. If we put a negative number, it'll be moved 60 pixels to the right of center. So, beautiful. Now, I want these to be clear. I want them to be see-through with just a white border on the bottom. There we go. So now they have white text. Let's actually put the text in here, because getting placeholder stuff to show up in the right color is incredibly difficult. And it'll just be easier if we do this. And it's clear when editing begins. Clear when editing begins. There we go. Then we're going to set the border styles to these to nothing. Okay, now to get that border along the bottom, oh, that's right. Never view. Now Xcode doesn't like it when you set fixed constraints. So we're going to change that to greater than or equal to. There we go. Okay, so to get the white border along the bottom, we're going to subclass the text fields. So let's create a new group for our new class. View, Command N or file new, and we're going to create another UI text field. If I can type, and let's call it a fancy text field. So it's fancy. We're putting it in the view. Bam. Let's get rid of this boilerplate. Don't need any of it. Start off, let's put the required init. Needs a decoder. Super init coder. Pass it the one we've been given, a decoder. And then we're going to run a function. Let's set that function up. Private func style text field. And then we'll run that whenever one of these fancy text fields are initted. Initialized. Okay, so first things first, we need a color and we need a layer to put the border in. So I think there's a UI color white already in the system, so let's just do the, well, I guess because there's a color white already, let's make our own. Make it weird. There, neon green. Make a neon green one. Okay, so let neon UI color. We're gonna grab the RGB and I wonder what the difference between these two are. Alright, so first up, red, 42 divided by 255, green, 250 by 255, blue, 56 divided by 255, and alpha is 1. And now we need a border, and that's going to be a type CA layer. And now we're going to need to style this layer. Let's start off with setting the color. Border color equals neon. That's CG color, because border color needs CG color. Okay, so border color has been set. Oh, I need a width for this. That's going to need to be a CG float. Let's set it to. Okay. Border width equals width. And now we need to get the frame. The frame should take a CG rectangle. Right? Yep. Okay. We need it corner. Alright, we're going to take the bounds of the text field, size, height, minus the size of our line. Oh no! I'm running out of power on my laptop. Let me plug this in real quick. Alright, there we go. Okay. And then the width of this is going to be bounds.size.width, and the height will be bounds.size.height. Alright. Now let's add this to the layer. And then mask to bounds. Okay. Let's go back. We need to set these two bad boys to be fancy text fields. Fancy text fields. Yay! Fancy text fields. Now let's run this. Should be working just fine. Running. Loaded. And look, we have our fancy neon green bottom borders. We have our nice text. Clicking it. Where's my keyboard? Keyboard. Toggle software keyboard. Here we go. Yay! Doesn't work. Doesn't dismiss. Time to fix that port. We need to fix this stuff. Okay. So now you, weren't you? Password. Secure text entry. Let's just make sure that that's there we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, so we have it styled right, it's looking good. Now let's add that functionality. So I need to go from the email to the password with one swoop. So let's change the return key to next, and this one can be done. Alright, let's go to our view controller. Actually, let's go back here, close this out, and hold down Option, and we're going to click on our view controller so that we can get this assistant editor showing up. And let's start making some outlets. So Control Drag. We have our email fancy text field, and we have our password field fancy text field, and let's make an outlet for the button. Well, an action for the button, really. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Alright, so first things first, don't need that. We don't need the received memory warning. Let's put a line between those. And look how awesome is that, our fancy text field types. Okay, now this view controller needs to be the UITextfield delegate. because we're going to do something fancy. Well, not that fancy, but really when they tap on the end of it, tap to end, we need to, or the return key, we need to handle the returning. So we're going to use the delegate method should return. Text field should return. Okay, now the text field should return. Let's go to the UI. Text field delegate. Come on. Thank you. Okay. Text field should return. So return no to ignore. No is an Objective-C thing. We're going to say false because that's the Swift version. Okay. So receive returns no. So we're going to say by default returns false. So we can clear up that error. Alright. Now really what should be is if they click on the return and we're currently in email field, we should make the password field be the field we're editing. And if we're in the password field, we should dismiss the keyboard and we should do the login function. So really we would write some function that does the login processing. Maybe we make a call out to the database to verify that the user is correctly typing in their username and password, or whatever we're doing. But first we'd have to check to see what field are we in. So if the email field is the first responder, basically if the email field is the one we're currently working with, then we want to make the password field become the first responder. Else, we're in the password field, and password field should resign first responder. And just dismiss the keyboard. Let's make sure that works. Okay, email, something, something, something. Next. No! We did not get kicked over. Oh, because I did not set self to be the delegate. Email field dot delegate equals self, and password field delegate equals self. There. Now the view controller is the delegate and is acting as the delegate for these email field, for these text fields. Da, da, da. Next. Yay! Da, da, da. Done. And we're dismissed. Goody. But this still doesn't dismiss the keyboard. So we need to do that next. So to do that, we need to set up a tap gesture recognizer on the whole friggin' view. And we're going to option click on our view controller, and then we're going to control drag from our tap gesture recognizer to our keyboard. And we're going to create an action. And did tap screen. There we go. And then let's go back, look at the view controller. And in this function, we're just going to test to see if either the email field or the password field is a first responder. And if they are, dismiss it. Well, resign as first responder. So if email field dot is first responder, email field dot resign first responder. Else if password field is first responder, password field dot resign first responder. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that should all be working now. Let's check. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. And dismisses. Dismisses. Beautiful. Alright, let's go back here and see what else we can do. So here we can say resign first responder and log in. Did tap login, run login function. Maybe we want to do some validation on what the user had entered. Do the same thing up here. The only thing I'm noticing now is that for some reason this isn't showing the right keyboard. I want the email address keyboard. And look to be suggesting stuff. So hopefully that'll stop. Okay, let's try that again. Hopefully I get the right keyboard this time. There we go. Got the nice @ symbol. Gee whiz. @gmail.com. Man, I'm glad I type faster than that with my actual phone. And then we have, I don't know, the always awesome password. Yay! And that is how you do it, guys.